What's up, African Fight Fan? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy JB, and today what we're gonna be talking about is some Dricus Du Plessis. So yesterday I was watching UFC 273, amazing pay-per-view, and then the only thing I could think about when the main card started was imagine Dricus Du Plessis, Kelvin Gastelum opening this card. What could this have been? Because I was speaking to Demate Pena the other day, and we were talking about the significance of Dricus being on that main card. The significance of Dricus putting on a show there that could trigger a lot of things for African MMA. I was mentioning though, I should say, I was saying that if Dricus goes out and knocks Kelvin Gastelum out or submits him, I believe his next fight would be a main event of a fight night down in South Africa, in probably Cape Town or Joburg, right? I'm Nigerian, I'm not South African, in case you're wondering. So I know there's a lot of talk about UFC coming to Africa, and a lot of folks are saying Nigeria, but anyways, I know it's going to be South Africa regardless, but we're not going to get into the details. But coming back to what we missed from seeing Dricus fighting a main guy, a top star from the middleweight of the UFC, putting on a show. I believe that would trigger the talks or the motivation of UFC to come down to South Africa to do a show, and that eventually that card will get stacked with African fighters that are not even signed on by the UFC already. So like African fighters fighting in EFC, African fighters fighting in UAE Warriors or over in Nigeria, or those standout fighters will probably get a spot in that card. So like we missed a lot, guys. So it is very unfair to us, right? Because unfair to Dricus, most especially. I'm kind of making this about us now, we the fans, but it's unfair to Dricus. I understand that Dricus has mentioned that he's down in Jacksonville, Florida. He's training with Sanford MMA. He's gonna stay there for about 4 weeks until a fight comes. Dricus has been in fight camp for a couple of months, spent a lot of money, logistics, time, energy, all of that, and then the fights fall off, and then there's nothing for him. I kind of feel like the fact that Dricus was open to accept two short notice fights, what history tells us is that Dana White always rewards those type of fighters. UFC loves those type of fighters that are about anytime, any place, anywhere. Just give me somebody. UFC, we saw Chimaev yesterday. He started like that. So with this attitude, I think Dricus is gonna fight a ranked opponent next. I feel like UFC feel like they owe him one. I don't think they would put him below. They'll put him in any prelims. He would probably be on a main card next time, and subsequently a fight night. But I felt like the fight against fight against Gastelum, I'm sorry, we missed out on a big one. I'm gonna talk a bit about what I think happened. Right, I think Dricus mentioned it when he did his interview with Ariel Helwani. I think Gastelum obviously has not been in hot form, so he's trying to get back into the win column. And straight away, his losses came from straight killers. He lost to amazing fighters. I don't know what you call Darren Till at this point, but yeah. So Gastelum is no slouch. So Gastelum is eager to get on the win column. I repeat that. So when his fight against Imavov fell off, he remained keen, wanted to be on that fight card. He heard about Dricus. Oh, do you want to fight this guy? He was like, yeah, sure, just give me any newcomer. I would go with it, right? And I don't think Gastelum's MMA career is as decorated as Dricus is. Because Gastelum is quite young, late 20s, if not 30 now. Dricus is young as well. Gastelum might feel he's old because he has been in the UFC forever. So when I believe Gastelum looked up, him and his team looked up Dricus, they probably noticed that the risk and the reward does not match, because they feel like, yo, this guy is not an easy task, but what are we going to benefit from winning this fight? And what is going to happen to my career if I lose this fight, like third fight in a row, right? So risk reward does not balance. So the smart thing to do is just to, leave the fight, go back, prepare properly for another fighter. I don't know. Would the UFC leave the Gastelum and Dricus fight for the future and wait for Gastelum to heal up from his supposed injury? Or, well, Dricus, on the other hand, he's going to stay in the US for 4 weeks, which is not cheap. Training with Sanford is not cheap as well. So Dricus, my dude, is in a tight spot. We wish him all the best. I just hope the next fight he gets in the middleweight will be that defining fight that pushes the UFC Africa agenda again, once he goes out there flying the flag of South Africa. Come to think of it, if not Kevin Holland being in the welterweights now, that would have been like a good, really, really good fight for Dricus, because he's just going to take that guy down and submit him. And I know Kevin Holland is all about anytime, any place, anywhere. Yeah, but all those top fighters, they don't really measure the risk reward properly. Fighting a guy like Dricus is too dangerous. But what do you guys think? What's going to be Dricus' next move? What do you think the UFC are going to do about this? Yeah, so over to my right here is 5 facts we make about Dricus Du Plessis. If you haven't seen this video, try to see this. And on my left here is top 10 best African fighters of all time. So just make sure you like, subscribe, do all the good things for the African fighters, and we out. Peace! Come on, Africans! Ow.